Hello, everyone. Today is November 21st, 2022, and today is our meeting number 8, and we are discussing habit number 3, start first, things first. Again, welcome everyone, and a special warm welcome to all newcomers. So guys, I have an exciting news. Actually, we started fundraising. So it's fundraising for charity. So we don't ask anything for our expenses, even they are pretty significant. We decided, my husband and I, we decided that it would be our donation to our I'm sorry that I interrupted. Please, I know that somebody did it accidentally. Try to undo it. It's, I think it was whiteboard, right? Or no, it was annotate. And when you click on annotate, it will be undo. But who accidentally did it, please, while I will continue, please try to undo the scratching, because it will continue through the whole presentation, okay? Okay, guys. So this, our fundraising will be for charity. So everything what will be collected, we will donate to a place or event based on our voting. So, and of course, you don't have to if you're not in the position for right now, but any amount would be appreciated. And please participate to help those who need. I think we can make a difference with our group. Well, thank you. It's removed. So, guys, we had a very thorough review on our previous meeting. So today we will start right away with habit number 3. This is just one slide to reminder where we are and what we went through. So guys, we are in a private victory, and the first 3 habits, it's belong to our private victory. So first, habit number 1, be proactive. It means I'm the creator of my own reality. I'm responsible for whatever is going around my life. We cannot blame anyone around. Habit number 2, begin with the end in mind. It's actually related to the first mental creation, which is more important than the physical creation. So this is the leadership, right? And this is habit number 3, the management. This is can be our thoughts, and this can be, habit 3 can be our manifestation. So, and today we will talk about habit number 3, start the first things first. And this is, guys, it will be our physical creation. I would offer to you to have a discussion. Winners and losers have the same goals. So what's the difference between them? Why some become loser and why someone become winner? You know that every Olympian wants to win a gold medal. Every candidate wants to get a job, right? But if successful and unsuccessful people set the same goals, that goals cannot define who is winner and who is loser, right? So I give you a hint. Please, while we will discuss, do not think in a casual way. No, something like they didn't work hard, they have low self-esteem, they don't have good human relations. While it's all important, it's not at the root of these people who are winner and who are loser. There is something more fundamental. So think more maybe scientifically or kind of on a serious way. And let me divide you in groups. I will divide you 5 people in a group. Is it good enough? Who were already? Let me divide you in 4 groups, 3 groups. I will divide you in 3 groups. It's 12 people. So please accept the invitation, and please choose a person who will present your group opinion. Okay, and please be respectful to each other. Do not overpower the conversation. I think 6 minutes would be plenty for this, okay? Okay. So please accept the invitation, and you will be in a group. Hello, Marcus. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I don't see people. Okay, and I left for just for a minute the quote which we were discussing. So winners and losers have the same goal. What's the difference between them? And let's group number 1. What idea did you bring to us?
Which team is that?
Oh, we are Maria and Nicole, Christine and Bill. But I thought Nicole, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, but you offered.
Okay.
Either way.
So all right. So we were discussing that we all start with the same goal in mind, which is to win. And it is the process during the process that the difference become apparent. You know, those are and winners find themselves more accountable, more proactive, determined, persistent, and the challenges that they may face may not pose like a high risk of not continuing with the goal in mind.
Beautiful answer.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, group number 1. Group number 2.
Is that Richard and I?
Yeah, that's us.
Yes.
Richard,
Yes.
do you mind? I can share some of your thoughts because I love them. Yeah, otherwise, you could speak. Well, Richard talked about having the right paradigm, right? The appropriate paradigms to win. And I completely agree. And what I added also is this idea of resolving the past. And I'm finding a way, for example, to still enjoy and embrace the present and a glorious future. I've developed the ability to enjoy, and I'm still working on this, myself with any people, any part of the world, any group, any setting. I'm finding something to enjoy. And I think Richard, just how he's like a Buddha, if I could say that. He's very relaxed, and I love him from the other talks. I'm feeling more relaxed looking at him, and all of you in the group. And I believe that life is what you make of it. At the same time, if you still have questions that you want to have answered or mysterious, you can still have those parts answered and keep enjoying your present and future.
Thank you, beautiful. I actually hear, Richard, the second time that somebody, absolutely different people call you Buddha. What a nice name. Wonderful. Thank you, Sanjay. Thank you. Beautiful answer. Group number 3.
Group number 3 was us. It's Randy and Katie. I think our group had a wonderful point saying that there is no losers. Everybody is a winner.
Okay.
And it's, for example, taking little kids, it's not good to compare, you know, you're a winner, you're a loser. Everybody wins. Just the participation in the marathon or any contest is amazing. And of people who don't win, it's mostly they don't have the end goal in mind. They are afraid of it.
Beautiful, beautiful spiritual answer. Guys, you're all correct. This is actually no right or wrong answer. Because everybody has different opinion, and we can come to our point or our goal with different ways, right? However, we are at 7 habits, and let's see what Mr. Covey thinks about it. Hello, Zohra. Let me share my screen. And let's see what Mr. Covey is thinking about it. Losers have goals, and winners have systems. And while it's written that it's Scott Adams said, so Mr. Covey said absolutely the same. And what I want to talk about it, this is system. So Mr. Covey didn't say, have goal and go to it. Be persistent, believe in yourself, and you will get it. While someone can get it, but guys, if we will stick to the system, it's will be much beneficial and faster and more reliable. So this is the system. This is private victory. This is habit number 1, number 2, and number 3. So this is system Mr. Covey is saying about. Thank you, everyone. And we are starting habit number 3. Start first things first. It's basically organize and execute around priorities. And it may sound boring, but believe me, it's wonderful. I absolutely love this chapter. So let's look at, guys, at the time management metrics. And please don't think that it's only for managerial position and only for work. No, for work is great, and for your personal use is absolutely fantastic. So Mr. Covey is saying that we spend time in one of 4 ways. So the 2 factors which are define our activity, it's urgent and important. And let's see if quadrant number 2 is both urgent and important, right? Quadrant number 2 is important but not urgent. Quadrant number 3 is urgent but not important. And quadrant number 4, not urgent and not important. So quadrant number 1 is both urgent and important, how we said. Urgent means it requires immediate attention. It's now. It's usually called for activity in quadrant 1, like crisis, problems. Usually these problems are visible and they insist on immediate actions. We all have this quadrant in our lives, right? However, some people are literally beaten up by problems all day, every day. And the only relief they have is escaping to the not important and not urgent, quadrant number 4. And you can read what is there. Or quadrant number 3. It's urgent, but still not important. So this is example for work, for career. Is anybody can give an example for our personal life for quadrant number 3, for example? And I'll help you. For example, quadrant number 3, it's things that appear to be worth doing. Appear to be worth doing. Is an example? Oh, let me help.
Can
Urgent.
you,
Go ahead.
no, I was going to ask you to clarify a little bit.
Right. So it's a quadrant number 3.
It's things.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Things that appear to be worth doing, but they are actually not important. For example, I need to prepare for this meeting, right? And instead of that, thought pop up in my head, oh, I need to clean my closet. It's important. Yes, it's important. Or I need to cook some new dinner, and I need to look for recipes. It's important. Or I need to clean my home. It's important. We need to evaluate what is more important. Prepare for my meeting, or, for example, clean the closet. My closet can wait. For me, it's more important to prepare for the meeting because people will come. Or versa, of course, think about yours activity and what is more important. So stay on your activity which are important. So it will be over here. Are this all not important? Yes, Richard?
Urgent and not important is definitely confusing. But the one thing that came to mind is others that may distract you, like, for example, a telephone call or a text message or a child that's, pulling on your arm or so on. Urgent. Those are urgent, or we think they're urgent, but are they important? And most of the time they're not. Most of the time you can call that person back or wait a while before you text, or maybe the child just needs something quick, or maybe not. Maybe they're just being disruptive. So yeah, it's confusing, urgent, but not important. And usually, I believe it tends to come from others.
Yes, Richard. Thank you so much. Great adding. And this is why we need to think. And while we will think, we will figure out. You came with a great example. I think with the quadrant number 4 will be a little bit easier because it's pure time wasting. And what would be for our personal life time wasting? What would be complete time wasting for our personal life? Yes, Richard.
Well, that one's easy. Watching TV.
Yes. What else, Violeta?
Scrolling Instagram or Facebook.
Oh, great. Anything else?
Maybe argue with some.
Listen something, right? I didn't hear.
Can I add something?
Sure.
A complete waste of time would be to pay attention to distractions, of course. So that you need to know what the triggers are.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
So social media is a big trigger.
Yeah.
You know.
It's a big time waster. Yeah.
It's a big time waste. And the couch, your couch.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Randy?
I have a different way of looking at the TV and the social media as it could devolve into time wasting, but it may appear to be urgent so that you can keep up with your friends and be able to have a conversation, especially in the old days when TV episodes were broadcast on a particular day, you had to watch it that day because the next day you might be talking about it in your office and you don't want to miss out on that conversation. That's not really important, but it seems urgent to you to get that done so that you can feel a part of the group. What I put in the chat was basically alluding to somebody else making something seem important by an urgency that they've created that possibly could have been avoided. It's the sign said, your lack of planning does not constitute an emergency to us. So these urgencies develop sometimes out of lack of planning and or out of external factors like someone else, not in your own life.
Thank you, Randy. And I like that you started with the question and the answer by yourself. When, for example, watching TV, first it was an old time. We cannot bring old time to our time, right? So we just need to forget about what was it before. And the second, for example, to watch a TV, watch a movie, it feels something, it seems someone important that to come and work and they just be a part of the group. Is it really that's so important just to watch that movie and be a part of a group? What if to be who you are and to possess something more valuable than to just discuss a movie which everyone was watching? So, but it is beautiful. Aiden, you asked and you're answered by yourself. Yes, guys. So one thing, the last thing about this quadrant 3 and 4, that they are pleasant, they are easy, and they are fun to do. So, however, Mr. Covey is saying that people who spend exclusively their time in quadrant 3 and 4 basically lead irresponsible lives. People, effective people, they stay out of quadrant 3 and quadrant 4. And finally, quadrant 2 is the heart of effective person. It deals with things you can see that is not urgent, but are important. It deals with things like building a relationship, writing a personal mission statement, long-range planning, exercising, preventing maintenance, preparation. And because it's not urgent, it's require more initiative and proactivity. And this is one problem with quadrant number 2, that's because things are important but not urgent, we are simply don't do them. We always say, we don't have time. Where can I find time for that? Guys, you know that Mr. Covey is suggesting that we can find time. When we take time from quadrant 3 and 4, then we will have time for quadrant 2. But for that, we need to say no to quadrant 3 and 4, right? And say yes to quadrant 2. So how we will do that? Yes, Richard.
I was thinking about quadrant 1 and 2 and how they relate to each other, and I can imagine a student in class has homework to do for let's say a few months down the line, but instead of using quadrant 2, because at the time it's not urgent, to then work on that project so that it's ready in time, waits till the last minute, and now it becomes a quadrant 1 activity.
Absolutely.
So that that what Randy was saying is planning and can also help in changing what quadrant you're looking at. Something that you know you plan ahead for and use proactivity for makes your time more effective.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Yes, basically you're right. If we are in quadrant 2, but if we are procrastinating, we become in the quadrant 1, like Randy said, without planning. Yes, Bill?
Oh, I just had a side note. I was discussing this book with a friend recently, like a really good friend of mine, and he was telling me how this is his favorite part of the book, the time management matrix. And he owns a company himself, and he says he started applying this all the time to his problems at work and everything, and everything's gotten a lot better for him. So I started thinking more about this time management matrix, and it makes a lot of sense. The less you procrastinate, the more, well, you won't have to run into all these crises and urgent matters and stuff that you could have solved by just planning ahead of time and not waiting till the last minute or being so reactive. So
Yes, great, Edin. Thank you for sharing that. Always personal examples are very powerful. Okay, guys, we stopped on saying no to quadrant 3 and 4, and how we are saying no. What it takes to say no? In fact, not for all people is easy to say no. For some people, it's fine. For example, I can tell you, for me, it's no problem to say no. I can say yes, and I can say no. But not all people can say no. Let's learn how to say no. Mr. Covey is offering beautiful 2 examples, which I just really couldn't miss. So the first example, his wife invited her friend to some project, and her friend wrote her this answer. And do I have a volunteer to read, please? Sandra is, yes, Violeta, it's wife of Mr. Covey, and this answer she received from her friend.
Sandra, that sounds like a wonderful project. I appreciate so much your invitation. I feel honored by it. Number 2, for several reasons, I won't be participating myself. But I want you to know how much I appreciate your invitation.
Thank you, Violeta, beautiful. I marked 1, 2, and 3. It was just one answer. Who knows why I divided it in 1, 2, and 3?
Maybe because you were trying to be polite, like interjecting the person who invited you for something.
Yes, yes. A little bit next time, please speak louder. We very hardly hear you. So, guys, we studied it in college, and this called a sandwich method. Whatever we want to say no, or even if we want to send or say some positive critique, that negativity, that no should go inside. See how she started. It sounds like a wonderful project. I appreciate it. I honored by it. And then in the middle, she put that I won't be able to participate. And how she finished? She finished, but I appreciate your invitation. So guys, this is a wonderful, wonderful method. It's called sandwich method again to use. We cannot use it in everyday conversation with someone. It would be annoying. However, for any situation when you want to say no, when you're writing informal, in the formal conversation or in a letter or saying to a boss, you can use this all the time. Yes, Richard.
Very soon after I had read this method, I was at Verizon, and I heard a young man there implement this method exactly to the T. He brought in his phone that he wasn't really happy with, and he started out by complimenting the service and saying how the phone is a great phone, and then continued to say but, and described what his problems were. And then at the end also said he appreciates all the help that they can provide. So he got what he wanted. So
Yes.
in a timely manner. So it was very effective. I've seen this in practice. I've tried to use this myself just in normal conversation. And it is a little ridiculous, but it's so entertaining to do this the right way. And you get used to it after a while.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for great agent. Yes, Maria.
I lost audio in my car, so I couldn't hear a few minutes of the conversation. So I had to exit and come back again, and I finally regained the audio. So I lost a lot of the information.
Okay, you will be able to listen it again. Please drive safely, okay?
Okay.
Katie, please.
Thank you. I like this method, and I've employed a similar method in the past. I can't say I did the same exact steps in the same order, but I have tried to be very diplomatic and civil when I've declined whatever it is, certain situations or whatever it is. But my caveat is this: you can employ a method like this or very similar to this and be very civil, kind, loving, diplomatic. But if the other person is still coming from their ego, they still may be hurt. They may still attack you. And so just be prepared for that, because I've encountered that in the past. And so I say to myself, I've done my best. I've tried to respond in a very high vibrational manner. I tried to be fair. I thank them, was of gratitude, but I cannot control how they will react, not respond, but react. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Katie. And we will cover that in habit number 5. It's a good aging. Okay, let's move ahead. And one more quick example. So Mr. Covey asked his manager help him with the project. And his manager started like this: Stephen, I'll do whatever you want me to do. Just let me share with you my situation. And then he brought him to his wall board, where he had listed over 2,000 of projects, and he was working on them. And it was deadlines and performance criteria. And so it was visible that he's working on them. And after that, he asked Mr. Covey, which of this project would you like me to delay or cancel to satisfy your request? And of course, your answer, Mr. Covey said, no, thank you. I definitely see that you cannot handle or insert my request for you. This is another way this is more personal. The first example is more personal, and the second example is more toward work. Yes, Richard.
There's a team of employees that I manage as well, and I also tell them that the word no is pretty powerful, and it requires courage to say, because you definitely can bring about a negative response. You're giving the other person a negative response, and you can certainly expect, or most likely expect, to get a negative response in return. So it takes some courage to do it.
Yes, thank you for adding. However, no should be, especially at work, practically use or sandwich, or it should be soft, soft no, and use appropriately. But thank you, you're absolutely right. So, and Mr. Covey is saying us, it doesn't mean that he's teaching us how to say no, and we shouldn't be involved in some service projects or some important work. No, those things are important, but we have to decide which is our highest priority. And this is very interesting. Listen, please, and have the courage, pleasantly, smilingly, non-apologetically to say no. What a beautiful saying, right? Smilingly, pleasantly, non-apologetically to say no. And of course, to say yes to your burning desire, to your most important things, what you think is important for you. So guys, to stay in quadrant 2, we need to have our principal center and our personal mission statement, and how I mentioned before, our burning desire inside of us. Because it's almost impossible to say the pleasant quadrant 3 and fun and pleasure of quadrant 4. So just let's think for a minute, where do you think you are? Where do you spend your time mostly?
Lena, could I say, this is Sanjay, can you see me?
Yes, yes.
What I would say is more in quality time. I've noticed I become more present by going to church and meditation.
Okay.
And what's interesting is I'm looking more, like others were saying, Richard and others, about the idea of prevention. There was another gentleman that had mentioned that, an idea of planning better. That's something I've had to work on. Relationship building. Arthur Brooks talks about faith, family, friends, and service. I just saw a book at Books A Million. That's all I care about, being charitable. Throughout my life, that was a theme, you know, working on becoming greater and greater. There were a lot of people that helped in terms of the charity, service orientation. I'm very excited the church is becoming more regular than it was in the past. And definitely the meditation has worked to slow down my thinking. I'm much more relaxed and able to enjoy anywhere, anytime, with anyone and any situation. So something happened with that combination, and just a lot of people showing me mercy and grace. And that's what I'm trying to do to pay it forward, and just really enjoying anything I'm doing in life.
Beautiful.
Even if yeah, so that's what's happening. So I would say quality time. Even as I'm making improvements, it's still quality time.
Absolutely, absolutely. So guys, where are you in Covey's quadrants? So don't be afraid to find yourself where you don't want to be. Where you are, it doesn't matter where you are, is the ideal place for you to grow. And if some magic one day and you would switch, for example, in somebody else, we would mess up even more. So your place is ideal. Just doesn't matter where you are, start to work. Successful people, not people who do not have any problems. It's people who have the power to solve problems. And it's the way how they solve the problems. So let's move into quadrant 2. You remember honey-do list? I think everybody knows, right? What do you think? What's wrong with honey-do list?
It's too big.
No, Nicole, you actually should be happy. It's men should complain, but not you. Usually it's women are writing to men.
Yes, we make big lists and then they never get done, but.
So
Well, technically that's because they don't get it done when they should, so it just keeps adding on like everything else.
Okay, okay. What else?
Lena, can you hear me?
Now I hear you well.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, the honey to-do list. I'm married, so I can tell you that sometimes trusting can be an issue, even if it's with, I give my husband a list, and trust me, things are not going to be done. So that's wrong with the honey to-do list. We have high expectations.
Okay. Okay. Okay, guys, all your answers are correct. What Mr. Covey wants to point at that this is a previous generation. And he's saying that they don't recognize the concept of priority. What was it? Was just written, do this, by this, right? Then do again this or that. And of course, it was a sense of accomplishment. I had it. Remember how we crossed out oh, yes, I accomplished. But no priorities is attached to this list. So it's mostly management. There is no leadership. And it's something like this. This is just for laugh, for laughing. To-do list. Make a to-do list. Check off the first thing on the to-do list. Realize, number 3, realize that you have already completed 2 things on the list. Number 4, reward yourself with a nap. So it was something like that. So let's, guys, becoming a quadrant 2 self-manager. This quadrant 2 organizing involves 4 key activities. First, we need identify roles. The first task is to write down your key roles. What roles can we have? Like parents, mother, father, wife, businessman, student, life, even community server. So any role what you have. Everyone knows your roles, right? And the second, selecting goals. So the next step is to think of 1 or 2 important results you feel you should accomplish in each role during the next 7 days. So, for example, you have 3 roles, you have 2 roles. Identify what results you feel you should accomplish. It can be long-term goals, which will be located in quadrant 2. Second, scheduling. Now you can look at the week ahead with your goals in mind and schedule time to achieve them. But for example, if your goal will be produce the first draft of your personal mission statement, you may want to set aside 2 hours block, for example, on Sunday or on Saturday. If you, for example, have a goal to become physically fit through exercise, you may want to set aside an hour or 3 or 4 days a week, or possibly every day to accomplish that goal. Some goals you can set up, you can work only during the weekdays, and some goals you can work only on weekends. So can you see right now how this is advantage organizing the week instead of the day? And of course, guys, someone maybe do it already. So this is maybe for somebody not new, but for somebody it can be new. Living it. Returning once again to habit 1, you are the creator, right? You are the programmer. Habit number 2, write the program. And habit number 3, run the program, live the program. So Mr. Covey warning us that while we are scheduling, we need to remember the difference between effectiveness and efficiency. Is anybody can clarify what's the difference between effectiveness and efficiency? I showed. Let's look this. Do I have, and then we will discuss. Do I have a volunteer to read, please? Violetta, please.
Covey's quadrant number 2. People first, things second. Leadership first, management second. Effectiveness first, efficiency second. Purpose first, structure second. Vision first, method second.
Thank you so much. Also very pleasant voice. What do you think the difference between effectiveness and efficiency? We already see that effectiveness first and efficiency second.
So effectiveness is like leadership. You have the idea of it, and efficiency is carrying it out in the management stage.
A good
Right.
answer. Good answer, Bill.
Effectiveness is essentially just how well something's done, and efficiency is, I suppose, the process. I don't know.
Okay. Okay. Very, very close, guys. So efficiency.
Can I say something?
Yes, of course.
So if efficiency is, you know, the ability that you have to accomplish something without wasting, your time. So I use that word a lot. You gotta be efficient. And to be effectiveness is how well things work, how well you achieve the result. And I use it a lot too. I use those two words a lot. I'm a businesswoman. I'm an entrepreneur, and I'm a businesswoman, so I use it a lot in my work. So effectiveness and efficiency, I think, go hand in hand together. Like, they're both important to get things done.
Right. It was a good adding. And we need to find the difference between them. And let me go ahead. Maybe what this would. Oh, Randy, go ahead.
I see effectiveness as how closely your result matches the goal or the purpose of whatever this project is. The efficiency, as people have pointed out, has to do with what's happening along the way, comparing the amount of work to the time that you have. But what I find interesting about this is it seems to be the reverse order from his winners and losers definitions or processes, that he was stressing system for the winners. And I think the end result, the goal for the losers, I don't remember what he put there, but this one seems to be focused more on the end result, but not the process. The process seems to be second in all of them. Purpose first, structure second, effectiveness first, efficiency second. So I'm having a hard time reconciling that with his winners and losers.
I see what you mean. Okay, we will listen to Bill and we will discuss it. Yes, Bill.
Yeah, I just had another thought on it. In terms of what comes first, effectiveness or efficiency. I mean, when you look at effectiveness, it's whether or not there's success in something getting done. And then when you look at efficiency, you look at more at like time, the time it took to do it, and the resources it took to do it. So at the end of the day, you want it to be successful and you want it to work out, but you also need to look how expensive was it and how much time did it take. So I thought it was a better answer than my first one.
Good. And the first answer was good too. And this is, yes, this is slightly more profound, very good answer. So let me say, guys, maybe here would be a little bit the correlation to highlight my point. Effectiveness we need to use with people, and efficiency we need to use with things. So efficiency, it's focused on getting maximum output with the least amount of time and effort. Again, efficiency focus on getting maximum output with the least amount of time and effort. We cannot use that on people. And what is effectiveness? It's focused on doing the right thing in the right way. So, and this we can use only with people. Randy, is it clarify your question?
No, you just separated them into two different types of processes. One dealing with people, one dealing with things or processes. So it's, I guess what you're saying is it's really not first and second. It's what's appropriate to what you're looking at the time. I think we're splitting hairs because we have to be efficient. We have to maximize our use of the resources because the resources keep becoming more and more limited. So without efficiency, you can't be effective. Your people can't be effective if Pharaoh takes away all the straw and you have to make, what is it, bricks without the straw. And so they're both important.
They're both important. I absolutely agree. What Mr. Covey is saying here, that I will repeat again and then continue, that we cannot be efficient with people, because efficient is just less amount of time, less effort, and bigger output. If we will put this goal to people and we try to be efficient with people, what, for example, if I decided I need to, for example, I'm a boss of a company and I decided I need to finish this project in 2 hours. But one person called and he's saying I'm sick. Or my friend, not friend, something happened to people. So we need to do right thing. We need to reorganize. We need to call to someone else. We need to bring someone else to substitute that person. And this wouldn't be efficient. This wouldn't be effective, because with effectiveness, we need to do the right thing in the right way. And we don't care about things, for example. We don't need to be effective with things. Because with things, it's only we are the boss and we are doing something. With things, we can be effective. And you mentioned about our quote, which we discussed about the winner and losers. I actually don't see the correlation to this slide, because Mr. Covey was saying about that we need to, losers have goals, and the winners, they have structure, they have program. They have system. They just don't have one goal. Winners have more system to that goal, like we have habit number 1. I know that, for example, I have a goal to reach something. But if I don't know that I am responsible, that I'm the creator for everything what I'm creating, I will start to blame if I lose something. Not lose, I fail. I will start to blame everyone around. and I will be loser forever. But if I know that I did something wrong, I need to learn, I will get up and I will learn again and I will be the winner. If I don't know that, I don't need to have my mental creation first, start first thing first. I mean, the second, I need to create mentally my business. I will start to go to my goal, to my destination, and I will just end it up in the wrong direction. So this Mr. Covey was saying about winners, that we need to have a system, and he's offering us a system. Do you want to add anything?
I think when you're talking about a team, then that same principle applies if you get buy-in from the members of your team. If each person feels responsible, you're saying that if you individually focus on it, you're going to be successful. And if each member of your team is motivated by your leadership to feel a part of it, and they make it their own individual goals, then everyone will be successful. And the honey-do list, I think, is an example that's a list of somebody else's priorities. What the point you were making was that list itself is not prioritized, but the list was generated by somebody other than the one who has to follow it. And therefore, the person trying to follow it may not be as motivated. But if that person jointly put the list together, if the two of them put the list together, then either one of them who goes to complete those tasks is going to be equally motivated.
Randy, right now we are talking about only private victory. We are on habit number 3. About team, we will talk in habit 4, 5, and 6, and it would be public victory. And in the previous generation, there was no priorities. It was just written. So good adding, but about teams and the public victory, we will talk about habit 4, 5, and 6. Okay? Thank you.
Honey-do list by its nature is not one person. It's somebody else. So that's why I was bringing it up.
The point was, Mr. Covey was saying that the previous generation of management, they didn't recognize priority. Everything was just written 1, 2, 3, 4, and whatever we did, we crossed out. But he's offering to make scheduling with priority. And because we were talking about quadrant 1, 2, 3, and 4, and quadrant 2 is the priority, is the heart of our scheduling. So if you will have other questions, we will talk about it. Let's move ahead. So he's saying that, remember, frustration is a function of our expectations. And our expectations are often a reflection of the social mirror rather than our values and priorities. So, and we were slightly talking already about it, right? I actually like it. This is a lot of psychology. So Mr. Covey doesn't talk only about management. He is talking about psychology and actually spirituality a lot. So we don't need to see what people interested or what is important to talk about. No, we need to know our values. We need to know our priorities and go toward it. This is the winner. Yes, Richard.
I might add to a reflection of the social mirror. I would also add prior experiences that might create our expectations.
Say it again. Please repeat.
That the expectations, it says, are often a reflection of the social mirror. Along with that, I would add prior experiences also can create our expectations.
Absolutely.
And absolutely rather than our own values and priorities.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you. So the next slide, Mr. Covey briefly talk about delegation. So it's very important, not only at work, but actually in our homes and our relationships. So he's really pointed that we need to explain well. We need to give a clear explanation. For example, I even came into my mind in my family, we have trust to each other. I trust to my husband completely. I hope my husband trusts to me too. Anyway, guys, we can argue or discussing something for hours. And only after a couple hours, we are figuring out that we are actually talking about the same, but from 2 points of view. So why this example that we need to explain well. So if we trust each other, if we know each other, and we still can misunderstand each other, can you imagine how other people can misunderstand us? And Mr. Covey is saying that trust is the highest form of human motivation. Highest form of human motivation. It brings out the very best in people, but it takes time and patience. And of course, if there are no trust, or trust was ruined, it will take again a lot of time and patience to return the trust. So the best way to maintain the trust, all right? So there is a couple of weekly workshop examples which Mr. Covey offered. I personally didn't find for me working. You can find them, just Google weekly worksheet Mr. Covey. You will find a lot. For example, this is another. And they kind of didn't work for me. Today, Patrick couldn't attend. We asked him next time. He showed his planner, and actually it's also a little bit different. This is mine weekly planner, and I'm using it religiously for 1 year. I used before, then I quit, but right now I absolutely love it. And this is 1 year ago, and this is right now what I'm using. So this, the upper part, it's my hourly planner. And this was a number, I call it fire in red. This is my quadrant number 1. And in green, it's quadrant number 2. And in yellow on the bottom, it's actually my practice which is going out of quadrant number 2. You see, I cannot plan quadrant number 3 and 4. And in fact, I even don't remember that I would be a lot, especially in quadrant 4, practically for me is not existent. What you see, this is little bit changes from 1 year, and this I post, it's already filled out here. I posted before last week, so I made some changes. I shortened the daily hourly schedule because I don't have business, I'm not at work, I don't need it. This is my quadrant number 2 in green. And this is just, you see, just practice written on the side. And this practice is going out of quadrant number 2. So I practically illuminate quadrant number 1, which is urgent and important, because I'm planning. And when I'm planning, I do it right away. I don't have quadrant number 1. So please, try to find, try to do or adjust what you have already. It's very important, guys. The power of planning cannot be overestimated. I think you absolutely know that. And Mr. Covey is saying absolutely the same, that the power of planning, he said, is immeasurable. You will never change your life until you change something you do daily. This is the key. What we think, today is a special situation, I probably will keep silence, or I will do this, but I will do it tomorrow. Or, yes, I will forgive the person, I will bend a little bit under the circumstances, but next time I will do it better. Guys, this is your forming habit, and you're forming a habit or opinion of people who are with you. So you're building yourself daily, not in life, one time in situation in life, but daily. Everything what you are doing is going daily. We have a question. Does a new habit create change, or does change create a new habit? This question was posted by Richard on our message board. And before I will post some answers, I want to ask you guys who are not on our board or didn't have time to answer, who would answer to this question? Yes, Sanjay, please.
Selena and group, I believe a new habit does create change, and it takes 66 days, they say, to wire. A lot of people believe it takes 21 days. However, the decision to make the change allows also for the habit, but there can also be forced change, as you might know, like there could be somebody's job on the line, or something could create a new habit based on necessity. However, I believe it can generally go through latent learning through some sort of Kaizen approach, right? A 1% incremental improvement. And then what I've noticed also, if I could add, the alignment, notice what you said about the mission, vision, and values, the desire to have lasting change and to live in truth with yourself, your spirit just opens up and fuels the habit. I don't know if that's been anybody else's experience.
Beautiful answer, Violeta.
I believe you need to make a change in your life to create a habit, because the habit forms within 60 days.
Great agent. Guys, you are on the line with Mr. Covey. Awesome. I wanted to confuse you, but it kind of doesn't work. So we have a beautiful, one of the beautiful answers as well. So it's Bill post, the nature of life is constant change, and one of the few things is promises. Many things out of our circle of control can cause change in our lives. And he's using all words correctly. He said can cause change in life, things out of control. He said can cause change in our lives. And everything what you were saying was absolutely correct. So Mr. Covey is saying that a personal maturity issue has little to do with circumstances. I will repeat again. A person maturity issue has little to do with circumstances. Even with better circumstances, in maturity and dependence often persist. So to strictly, directly answer on this question, how you did, all guys, that yes, the majority, the better, the stronger, the deeper change when you decided that you want to have a change, you want to create a new habit, and new circumstances has little influence. It's possible, right? For example, some crisis, some dramatic event like losing favorite loved one, or health issue, right? Or losing job. It can change your habits. However, Mr. Covey again suggests do not wait for that dramatic event, and be proactive and start to create your life now, not tomorrow even, right now. So old habits, old life, new habits, new life. Yes, Maria. Maria, you probably didn't turn on your microphone.
Yes, I was carefully listening to what you're saying. And I was thinking, it just came to me, are we programmed to first wait for something dramatic to happen in order for us to make a change?
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you, Maria, for adding. Guys, we have a couple minutes, and I'm so happy that we are in the good time. I really want to share with you something. Not before, I want to ask you a question. What we were talking about system, we were talking about habit 1, 2, 3, especially habit number 3. It's all about management, right? It's all about organizing. In order to achieve all what we talk above, what do you think we need to have? But in order to schedule. So instead of go and watch TV or play computer game or whatever, or just chat with your friends on the phone, we need to have what? To go and schedule, to think, not just schedule, to think how to schedule. What do we need to have? Violeta?
The goal in mind?
Right, what else? Richard?
A system?
Yes. Richard?
Desire?
Yes, yes. Guys, there is no wrong answer. And I would like to add discipline. Right? Randy, is it what it's what you wanted to say?
I was going to say self-control.
Yes, yes, absolutely. So sorry that I jumped ahead of you, and I accept your answer. Yes, guys, we need to have a discipline. And what I share with you, let me share with you, it's 2-3 minutes. One of my favorite saying from one of my favorite master. He's the greatest master of our century. What he's saying about discipline, it's amazing. Discipline is a dirty word to the mind. It screams lack of freedom, control. It forces us to do things which we really don't want to do. But Ramana Maharshi asks us to look again at the idea of discipline again. Right now, it's as two of eyes live within you. And you are all familiar. We have two voices in us. Like, I have to do this. No, you don't need to do it. You will do it tomorrow. So one eye is the false thought, the false idea of who you are. And the other eye is your true heart. So your true eye speaks for what you want. And the other eye sounds like you. But in truth, it's an imposter. Discipline means consistency. You know that you want the consistent experience of what you want. And you also know that only consistent practice brings that experience. So you see, you love it. You're grateful for it. You want with your whole heart to embrace it. It is the false eye that wants to throw this idea away. It is the false eye that resists and tells you that you hate discipline. This false eye poses like you. This false identification is everything that stands in the way of knowing you. And if continue to listen to it and to believe to it means continue to miss your dream. Let's talk about discipline, of love of discipline. Discipline is like a road lined with beautiful flowers and trees and green pastures to a destination that is literally more beautiful than your imagination. Who wouldn't want to take this road? And as they travel, embrace every moment of the beautiful and amazing journey. This is what is discipline. It's lovingly loving your love. It's giving yourself exactly what you want. Don't leave this lovely road for a dry, dusty, bumpy road of your voice, of your false eye that heads you into the desert, away from the lusciousness of your love. And he's saying that follow your heart is more than just a saying. So this is about discipline. Sorry, unfortunately, I plan today to have discuss a Richard mission statement. He wrote it 1 year ago. Let's discuss it next our meeting. We have 1 minute, and this is our application suggestion. Sajai, do you want to say something, or you didn't lower your hand?
Sorry about that. Let me lower it. There it is.
Okay. So guys, it's already 8:30, and this is application suggestions like a homework. I really don't need to read it. Please, if you're not on our message board, make a photo of it and quietly read or screenshot, read by yourself and do it. However, on our message board, I will post it and you will be able to read it. So let me stop sharing. Hello again, everyone. I love to see all your faces. So please, hello, Tracy. I didn't see that you joined. I don't see, guys, who is joining later. I only see the people, maybe 6 people. Please, can you give me your feedback? Again, it's not about me. It's about what did you learn today? What impressed you? What will you bring with you? What was questioned you? Nicole, if you are talking, you're unmuted. Yes, Randy, please.
Most of what you said is very logical, but very difficult for what we now call neurodivergent people, in particular ADD. It may seem very easy to say, just set your goals, set up a time, a system for it, a schedule, and you'll accomplish them. But there are neurologic, physical roadblocks, not just mental, that impair some people and make these systems difficult to follow, so that they need to be individualized.
Agree, Randy, and I can tell you, even for people who don't have any problems, it's still difficult. It's still, we need to push ourselves. This is why I read, share with you, Ramana Maharshi, Love of Discipline. It's actually changing our attitude. I don't have problems with the discipline. For some case, maybe I grew up like that. Maybe my mom and my father taught me in a good way. I love discipline. I really think that it's my loving love, and it's leading me to success. It's leading me to where I want. How can don't like it? So, and also you joined just today, and this is our meeting number 8, and we finished private victory. Can you imagine, for 8 meetings we were talking only about us, and we were preparing for this. This is just the final step in our private victory. Next class, not next meeting, we will start a public victory. It would be about people. So please look in the chat, and if you would be interested, you can listen our recordings, which I posted. They are all on Facebook, for Facebook. They are all on YouTube. Please let me know if you see the link to all our meetings. And I think you sent your phone number, right? I will add you to WhatsApp. However, on WhatsApp, guys, group chat, it's not my settings, it's WhatsApp settings that you will be able to see only conversations which will be after your joining. So you won't be able to see the conversation, but anyway, you can see our meetings on YouTube. Thank you for your participation. It was great. Thank you, Randy. Enjoyed. Yes, Richard.
Oh, just to quickly recap that it's great to go over the quadrants again. Stay away from fighting fires all the time and try to invest time wisely. And some things that may appear to be important to you, like an emergency, like the telephone ringing, may not exactly be that. But I'm not gonna, at this point, commit to creating an hour-by-hour schedule, but I certainly will try to focus more on quadrant 2.
Yes, thank you. Anybody else? And I'm reading the chat. Marcus, I like the analogy in regard to winners and losers. I had no idea these two were looking to achieve the same goals. Yes, I absolutely agree. I believe I was thinking like that in the popular saying, L. Okay, I hope it does make sense, absolutely. Some losers are just not enjoying to work or even entertain the idea of trying. Agree. Zohra is asking, so our meetings won't be on Mondays no more? No, I don't know why this information and where. We just finished habit number 3, so 4 habits ahead of us, and we continue to have our meetings on Mondays.
What were you saying about the public something? I didn't understand you a few minutes ago.
Can you repeat this? What did you ask?
You were saying something about going public, or I didn't understand
Oh, right.
what you were talking about.
Yes, sorry for that. This is for people who was right now. It's dividing. We have 7 habits, and the first 3 habits, it's all about personality. It's all about you. It's called private victory. So first we need to finalize ourselves. We need to be strong in ourselves. We need to know who we are. We need to have our principles. We need to have our paradigm. And only after we need to organize ourselves. So the first 3 habits, it's all about private victory. And the habit 4, 5, and 6, it will be all about public victory. So it would be more toward people, more how to be with people, how to behave with people, how to win, how to understand people, how to listen people, how to just win publicly. Did I answer your question?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, Marcus, Maria, thank you. Marcus, I really love the meeting. Thank you so much. I will not miss, and I will do best to get home before it starts. Thank you so much. My absolute pleasure. Thank you. Thank you, guys. I want to let you go. I tremendously enjoyed our conversation. Thank you, everyone who participated. Please, please don't keep silence. Participate. You think that it's clear or somebody will tell for you. No, whatever you're saying, it become much more clear for yourself. And we will discuss your problem, and we will solve your problem, and we will suggest personally to you. So please participate. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful week. And I look forward to see all of you next Monday at 7 p.m. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving, guys. I forgot. Sorry. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye, Randy.